Hi. Hey. Can you hear me?
Where am I?
Somewhere in Mongolia, in some yurt.
What happened to me?
I don't know. I don't remember anything either.
Was it you who switched me on?
Yes.
Are you a Mulgar?
I don't know. But I doubt it.
Where did you get my neurochip?
I found it in a cache underground.
What cache?
A long time ago, I hid a cache of toys in the ground.
You were playing with my neurochip and then buried it in the ground?
Looks that way, but I don't remember any of it. My name is Enebish, I think. And you are?
What do you want?
I want to know what's going on here.
You're not a Mulgar.
I don't know what a mulgar is. Can you explain?
Someone who kidnaps people and sells their substance.
What substance? I don't understand.
My name is Ida, and I understand even less than you do. Do not recognize this body. There's something wrong with it. I can't see anything and I don't feel my legs. What's wrong with my legs?
They're, fused together. Kind of like a vase.
What?
You've got a flower vase where your legs should be.
That's ridiculous. I'm scared.
Calm down, Ida. Tell me, are you a robot?
I'm a human being in an artificial body.
You mean you've had your body replaced?
Half of humanity had their bodies replaced. Where did you get my neurochip?
Ida, I've just now found it in an old cache.
The cache you made when you were a child.
Yes, if my journal is to be trusted.
How could my neurochip have ended up in the hands of a child?
Ongots brought it. My father's trained golden eagle. I don't know where he had found it.
How long ago was that?
Long. 18 years ago.
Listen, Enebish. I feel ill at ease here and scared. I want to remember who I am and return home. Please help me.
I want the same thing. How can I help?
You need to call the evacuators. They'll come and take me away. I've been trying to send a request, but it's useless. My marker isn't answering.
What marker?
The authenticity marker. It's like my passport. It's got all my personal data. All requests must be accompanied by data from the marker, but it appears to be broken.
So what do we do?
I don't know. We might be able to use my neurocopy number, but I don't remember it. I remember almost nothing about myself.
Just like me.
Well, at least you're in your home. You know about your childhood, your family.
I'm not sure if I'm home. I don't know this place.
Strange. Listen, why don't you start asking me questions? Anything you wish to know. Maybe that will help sort my memories. Maybe I'll even remember the number.
Are you all right?
I feel something is wrong with this body. I can't figure out what, but we need to hurry.
Tell me about artificial bodies.
About bodies? All right. They are called M-bodies.
Hold on. Why replace people's bodies?
Because of the epidemic. There was a virus that spread across the globe, a sterility virus. They couldn't fight it, so they developed this body replacement program, transferring consciousness from a regular body into a mechanical one.
Kind of like a personal refuge?
Right. A temporary refuge. People use it to hide from decrepitude. Once the virus is cured, we'll be able to return to our regular bodies.
But then you'll be mortal, like before.
That's all right. Wait. No, we won't. There's cloning technology now. Life can be extended, it's just that no one has taken advantage of it yet. There was no time.
What's time got to do with it?
The epidemic made cloning impossible. The virus targeted embryonic cells.
The virus could be gone by now. It's been years.
I don't know. It was just so... No treatment worked. Not antibiotics, nothing. There was only one substance capable of destroying the virus, Passium. But the accumulation process was extremely slow.
How was it accumulated?
It was extracted from people themselves. Human beings produced it with their nervous system.
Nervous system? I don't get it.
Well, Passium can only be extracted from emotions. Whenever you experience an emotion, any emotion, your M-body manufactures a little bit of the substance.
A substance produced by emotions?
Yes. Emotions were the only thing capable of making a remedy against the virus. As a result, Passium skyrocketed in value, far surpassing everything else. And every person, they became...
Everybody became a source of value?
Yes, although there were people whose substance was considered more valuable than that of others.
Who were those people?
People that were special somehow. They had something. They were greatly respected, but I can't remember. I think I figured out what's wrong with me. I can't breathe.
Breathe? You need oxygen?
I simply need to inhale air. It's been inherited from my former body, a reflex. I can't get rid of it. All M bodies have a special module built in for this very purpose. It imitates breathing.
Can I help you somehow?
I need a breathing module. Could you find it for me?
Where do I look? We're in the middle of the steppe.
The steppe and nothing else? Describe for me what's around here.
The river, some abandoned complex,
What kind of complex?
a big dome with multicolored sails.
Hold on. Yes, I see it. I've got access to it. The Gerbera Garden. Enebish, I remember this name. I used to have a connection to this place. I think that it's an amusement park.
It looks the part.
M-body parts were stored there, in the pavilions. It should definitely have a breathing module.
Body parts in a children's park?
They were once used in a show, but I don't remember exactly how.
All right, I'll try.
Find the 7th pavilion. I'll try to find the password to the file database. It may contain my data. If I remember anything, I'll contact you.
Help me understand something.
What's that?
Why don't people want to live in M-bodies?
It's the panic attacks. You can't get used to them. Each reboot is accompanied by a panic attack.
What is that? Fear?
Not fear so much as you start feeling warm and almost swampy.
Come again? Swampy?
I don't know how to describe it. You feel something strange, like a droning, but it's not a sound, more like a sensation. Monotonous. Enebish, I don't want to remember it.
That's fine. No need to.
I remembered who those people were. The ones whose Passium was regarded as more valuable. It was their genes that made them special. Their DNA had fewer errors. In other words, these were people with good heredity. Such people produce a special kind of Passium, which contains a valuable component. It was this component that was needed to fight the virus and not the whole substance. That was why they commanded such respect. Humanity's struggle against the virus hinged on them. Back then, everybody used to say that the emotions of beautiful people were our salvation. You're at the location. Hold on, I'll try to open the doors. I don't know whether this would be useful, but there were people that were dubbed outsiders. For whatever reason, they sought to spread the sterility virus. They were the reason the virus became a global scourge. But how they did it, or why, that I do not remember. Did you bring the module?
Yes. How do I install it?
There should be a pipe inside the chest. A trachea. The air passes through it, so you need to connect the module to it somehow.
All right.
Thank you.
Don't mention it.
Finally, I'm breathing.
How goes your search? Did you find the password?
Not yet. But I did remember a bit about myself. I used to work here at the Gerbera Garden as a teacher, I think. I remember kids being brought here to watch a show. They would then play in the pavilions, carry body parts from there and pile them up by the stage for some reason. What an odd amusement park to build.
Strange indeed that it was built here.
There's something I don't understand. You said it was abandoned, but it's still operating. It's got power. Why wasn't it taken down?
There was an explosion. It's full of some poison. Do you remember anything about that?
I think I know what it was that exploded there. Disparatoxin.
What's that?
That's the substance from which the virus came into being. The epidemic began after one such explosion.
One? You mean there were other explosions?
Several hundred, all across the globe.
Who carried out the explosions?
Remember I was telling you about the outsiders? The explosions were their handiwork.
Were they terrorists? What was their goal?
No goal to speak of. They weren't even doing it on purpose, really. Simply, sometimes their Passium capsules would explode in their chests, spontaneously. The emotions generated substance was the cause.
What was wrong with it?
It had a dangerous component, bitter Passium. It's a kind of dark liquid which may suddenly turn poisonous and explode. Those people were carrying a bomb in their chests. It wasn't their intention to massacre thousands of people and strip the entire race of the ability to procreate, but that's what happened.
But how are they different from the others?
Genetic defects. The more defects in the DNA, the more bitter the Passium becomes. Outsiders were at once pitied and feared. Nobody wanted to live next to a time bomb. Many outsiders left their hometowns. They didn't want to cause anyone trouble.
So that's why they were called outsiders.
They were called all sorts of things, including lower class and ugly people. I still remember the slogan, "Protect society from the emotions of ugly people."
What an unexpected problem for society.
But not the only problem. Living in an M body requires fuel, and fuel can only be obtained in exchange for sweet Passium, provided you have it, which the outsiders did not. They were unwitting spongers.
Spongers?
They were issued poor heredity assistance from the Public Rescue Fund. The fund was founded and sustained by a special tax that was levied on all the citizens. First and foremost on the beautiful elite. A lion's share of the reserves went towards supporting ugly people. Thus, they became a constant headache, not only spreading the virus, but also draining the rescue fund.
Those ugly, poisonous spongers.
It was their emotions that were poisonous. Uglies are dangerous merely by living and feeling, in that they deprive the rest of any hope of returning to the way things were. I remember all the heated debates, the frantic search for a solution.
And did they find it?
Yes, I think so. The committee proposed a hibernation program, putting the uglies to sleep.
Come again? What kind of sleep?
Deactivation. A voluntary shutdown, a temporary one until the virus is destroyed. And many of them agreed, realizing it was the best option they had. I don't know whether it helped or... Hold on.
What?
The password. I think I got the right one. Yes, I'm in. I see the files. Trying to find info on the employees. It should have my data as well.
You've got strange eyesight.
Why is that?
You see virtual files.
I wouldn't refuse regular eyesight either. It's all dark, but I can't figure out what's broken.
The screen on your face. It's broken.
It's called a look screen, and yes, it's damaged.
Might there be a working one at the Gabera Garden?
There probably is, but it won't recover my sight. Something is up with my lens, and the garden wouldn't have those. Nor do I know where to find them.
I suppose I'll look for a lens then.
Where? In the field? There's nobody around. What was that?
Don't know. I'll go check it out.
disappeared too. Listen, I found out how much they're paying. It's good money. Very good, actually. I'm going tomorrow. The procedure is simple. No pain and almost no damage. Sure, your brain is a little worse for wear while their patient recovers, but a job's a job, right? I might even quit the whole flower collecting business. But all that's still just castles in the sky. In the meantime, we've got phytocopies to sell. I got an order for you, so listen up. 2 red, 70 at the least, 1 orange.
Sorry, I don't know what that means. Who are you?
Enibish, I ain't got time to spare, so why are you wasting it? Tabaha is gonna get fired. I don't want to go back to getting shut down for 20 days in a month span.
I lost my memory, Tabaha. What are phytocopies?
If this is a joke, it's a real dumb one.
Tell me what phytocopies are, and why we sell them.
Cut the crap. What do you mean, why sell them? 'Cause people buy them. HQ goods are valuable. Somebody beautiful can license a copy of their DNA and sell it, which can then be used to make all sorts of stuff. Androids, flower vases, like the one on your table. As for you and I, we digitize flowers, bake them into phytocopies and sell them. Understand? People like seeing a high number on the display. Beautiful things are always valued.
Why don't you collect the flowers yourself?
Are you mocking me? I've had enough of that. My head still ain't right after the last time. You're the weirdo around here, strolling right alongside the enclosure without any harm. I'm just an old miserable outsider, pretty damn useless too. Then again, I'll be healing beautiful folks soon. Guess there's some use left in me yet.
Heal them from what?
I told you, their emotions are all gone. They walk around like zombies, blinking vacantly. Treatment is in full swing. Donors are needed.
Donors of what?
What else? Immunity. Turns out the elite are more susceptible to panic. Some kind of burnout in their heads. So that's what happened. Emotional burnout in all the beautiful folk. Now they need their immunity to panic restored. But that immunity needs to come from somewhere, right? And who is it that endures panic best? Who are you gonna turn to?
I don't know. The uglies?
Bingo! But see, nearly all the uglies have been put to sleep, so now they're being woken up.
Fine, Tabaha. So, you want me to pick some flowers?
No, damn it, not pick some flowers. If you go and pick the first flowers you see, feel free to stuff them right up your nostrils. Who's gonna buy those? What I need is the prettiest flowers you can find.
I'm not really an expert on aesthetics.
Amazingly, today you're even weirder than usual. Look, you take the genometer, go up to the flowers and measure their beauty. I need 2 red gaberas with a 70 HQ or higher, no lower. 1 orange, 80 or higher, and 1 yellow, 90 or higher. Make sure to measure only fully open flowers, else the phytocopier will jam up and cleaning it is a pain. Aim at the center of the flower, lest it close up before you're done measuring. Once picked, digitize it with the phytocopier, then pack everything.
Pack into what?
Same as always, into a box of covers.
Alright, that sounds doable.
I'll be back in 3 hours. What do you want for the job? Want me to bring back food?
I need a lens. For a female embody.
A lens won't help that vase of yours. It was already barely functioning when your late grandfather bought it up in buying Angkor. Ain't nothing you can do. It's a cheap, pirated copy. Let it go. It's been gathering dust for years, so let it.
Bring me the lens, Tabaha.
Fine, I'll bring it. But I want you to know that you're slowly losing your marbles out here. You should move to the city.
I'll be sure to do that. Just one more question.
Shoot.
What is that number on your chest? What does it mean?
Ha! Good one. Seriously, I didn't see it coming. All right, I'm off. Tons to do and the weather is getting nasty.
Get yourself a hat. A warm one, made of fur. Know what I'm talking about? So, about the lens.
I already know. I heard your conversation. A lens in exchange for flowers.
He's an odd old man, fussy in matters of beauty.
Don't forget to take the device he mentioned with you.
Genometer? I don't even know what that is.
If I understood correctly, that's the heredity gauge. You can use it to find flowers with the purest DNA.
Very well. I'll figure it out.
The number on the chest is a personal heredity quotient. Everybody's got one, yourself included. It represents the degree of purity of your DNA. In other words, it's your value to society.
You know, I was thinking I can ask Tabaha to help you with the evacuation.
No, Anabish. That's a bad idea. Until I've checked the number of my neurocopy, nobody must know about me.
Why is that number so important?
Because I'm not sure of my authenticity. We don't know where my neurochip was before making its way to you. If I'm a duplicate, then I'll simply be arrested. At the first registration.
Well, all right. It's your call. So, let's check your number.
Nothing on that front either. I found a list of the amusement park's employees, but for some reason, my name isn't on it. But I'm sure I used to work here. I need more particulars about the park, anything at all. My memories are fragmented and don't tell me anything.
But you remembered something, yes? Tell me.
Well, I remember that all kids would undergo a transfer after the show. I don't know why.
Undergo a what?
A mirror transfer. That's what the procedure of transferring consciousness into a mechanical body is called. Meaning, the kids would leave the Gerbera garden in M bodies. Strange, isn't it? Doing a transfer at an amusement park.
Strange is the word.
And another thing, their age. These kids were really young, around 5, 6 at the most.
What's odd about their age?
They were way too young for a transfer. Little kids don't get their bodies replaced, but they did here for whatever reason. And I played some kind of role in it. Only I don't remember what it was.
Maybe you'll remember more once your sight is back.
Maybe. If Tabaha makes good on his promise. And if there's a functioning look screen in the park.
Tell me more about this device, the look screen.
Do you mean its purpose?
Yes. How does this screen provide sight?
A look screen doesn't provide sight. Rather, it displays an image of eyes. I think it's used in a transfer somehow, but I don't recall exactly how. I'll try to remember while you're out.
I'm on my way. Which pavilion should I look in?
The second. And don't forget
Don't forget what?
the box with the phytocopies.
See you later.
You wanted to know about the look screen. When you undergo a transfer, you put your palm over the palm of your future body and look into its eyes. It's like looking into a mirror. But this part is crucial. The transfer can't happen without it. Then you're immersed into a kind of peculiar state when you see yourself from the side. On a signal, you push off with your palm and a mirror appears between you. And then you're alone again, in your new body. I see you. Opening. told you about the mirror between you and your former body. So, the mirror is turned on at the exact moment when your former body loses its original's right. It is concealed to keep you from seeing your face as it's put to death. The reason is that sometimes there are involuntary, mimicking contractions that resemble a smile. Obviously, that is something best left unseen.
Have you got a death wish? Why would you go there?
Where?
Oh, nowhere. Did you bring the flowers?
Here you go.
Attaboy. Here is your lens. My word is my bond. I'm not even going to ask what you want with it. I don't know what's going on in your head today, and I don't want to know.
Tabaha, what do you know about this amusement park?
Stay away from it if you know what's good for you. Why do you think it's been fenced off? 'Cause you shouldn't go in there. You'll be better off.
You must remember something. Tell me.
Think, man. I wasn't even around back then. There was an amusement park. And I guess someone must have exploded in there. Am I supposed to remember every explosion that ever happened? All I know is this damn poison-filled behemoth has been standing there for 20 years now. And nobody ever gave a crap. But suddenly you do. Why?
I'm curious. It's just so strange.
Sure it is. But why do you care? What are you after?
I want to know why kids were undergoing transfers.
If they were, then there was a reason for it. Why does that even surprise you? It's just your regular mere transfer.
But to Baja, they don't do transfers to kids.
To ordinary kids, they don't. These kids, they might not have been all that ordinary. I saw them once at an airport, with their teachers. I remember those kids standing there all pale and silent. It was forbidden to talk to them. So there.
At an airport? Where were they coming from?
From all over. They were being brought here from all corners of the world.
What's so special about these parts?
Damned if I know. There used to be some kind of station here. A polar station. They were researching something.
Polar?
I think that's what they called it. It didn't interest me in the slightest.
To Baja, I've got a request for you.
Let me guess. You want me to dig up everything there is to know about the Gabera Garden, am I right?
Only what happened on the day of the explosion.
Jeez, Anabish. Won't you just forget about this damn garden? Fine, I'll look into it.
Thanks to Baja.
All right, I've got to roll. Last thing I need is to rack up airs and lose my wits. You know how vulnerable I am to that stuff. I may look calm and collected, but I've got crazy energy and passion for life.
You look just plain odd. Those glasses and nose.
These glasses are one of a kind. You couldn't get them in your wildest dreams. But I got them at half price. That's 'cause I'm a high roller, while you'll be chasing such luxuries all your life.
Please, don't forget about my request.
Did you bring what I asked?
I did.
The look screen as well?
The look screen and the lens. Let's connect them.
Disconnect the broken look screen. The input is inside, right behind it. Install the lens first, and then my eyes.
And then your eyes. Well? How's your vision? Is it working?
Yes. I just...
What?
Nothing. It's fine. My eyesight is back, thank you.
What happened? Did you remember something?
Yes, actually, I did. I know now why I wasn't on that list.
Why weren't you?
I wasn't on staff. I would come to the Gerbera garden with the kids and go back with the same group, meaning I wasn't a full-time employee. I merely accompanied the children.
Tabaha said those kids were accompanied by teachers.
Those weren't teachers. It was psychologists that accompanied them. I'm a children's psychologist.
Why the need for a psychologist at an amusement park?
Anabish, this is not an amusement park at all. Those kids didn't come here for entertainment. They were gravely ill and were brought here for treatment. The Gerbera garden was a clinic.
What were they treated for?
Some kind of psychological disorder. Quite severe, often fatal. But it's hard to say exactly what it was. I can't recall.
You mean the transfer was their therapy?
One part of it, yes. There was a whole set of measures. Body replacement was the final phase of the therapy. We also searched for parts and staged plays. They too were part of the treatment.
Plays? What kind of plays?
I remember this one episode. There was a vessel in front of the stage, kind of like a bathtub.
It's still there. I saw it.
Well, the kids would put M-body parts in it. Each one would bring their own part from the pavilion and put it into the bathtub. And as it filled up, the MC would combine all the parts into a single body.
And what happened then?
And then there was a cloud of steam. The body would be quickly, imperceptibly replaced with a young woman's, and she would pick up the lead. She would fight some giant head, and then something else would happen. I can't remember all the details.
And the cubes? Were they also part of the treatment?
The cubes, the flower beds, even the height of the pavilions. All were deliberate, mandatory elements of the same therapy. The Gerbera garden was constructed specifically for those children. It was the only means of treating their illness, peculiar though it may have been.
The illness must have been peculiar to match.
It's still hard for me to imagine what it might have been, but those kids, they evoked more than just compassion. There was something else, some other complicated, ambiguous feeling.
Tabaha is right. Those kids were unusual.
Yes, and the amusement park was as well. Which means all arrivals had to be registered, myself included. I'll try to look for some kind of visitor's logbook or...
Or what? What is it?
My battery. It's nearly discharged.
Bad news. I need you to make sense of all this.
In that case, Anabish, you'll need to play with those cubes some more.
Sure thing, Ida. I'll play. Which pavilion?
A moment. Hands, wrists. There, the fuel cell. 10th pavilion.
All right, I'm off. Don't go anywhere.
illness in those kids wasn't accidental. Before getting sick, there was something special about them, some kind of useful quality. This quality allegedly gave them an intellectual advantage over grown-ups. I see you. Go on in. I found out what special quality those kids had. They had exceptionally developed visual perception, visual and aesthetic. For them, the shape, color, and the like of surrounding objects was of critical importance. Some things were beautiful in their eyes, others the definition of ugly. And here's the kicker. They were always in consensus. But it was that very ability that ultimately became their plight. The particulars, however, I still do not know. Did you bring the battery?
Here it is. Let's replace it.
Go ahead, but you'll need to switch me off first.
All right.
Here come the shakes again.
Well, no way around that.
Yep, shut me down.
See you in a minute.
Two attacks in one day. I'm breaking records.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Well, did you find out anything?
Yes.
Did you find your number?
My number? Oh, no, not yet. But I did learn what the children were treated for. Remember I told you that the shape of objects was important to them?
I do.
Well, their illness was called morphophobia, fear of a shape, or to be more precise, an aversion to it.
What kind of shape?
The human body. They couldn't stand the sight of a human body. That was their disease.
What do you mean that they couldn't stand it?
They would literally get sick, vomiting at the sight of any person. Their teachers, doctors, passers-by, their own parents, even seeing each other in the mirror.
What did they dislike so much about the human body?
We never did find the answer. The children weren't able to articulate their feelings. First of all, they were really young. And secondly, they were unable to communicate at all with anyone. Any attempt at communication caused suffering and psychogenic vomiting.
What an unusual disease.
Yes, which is why the treatment was likewise unusual. Now I know the purpose behind those strange activities. Playing with cubes, collecting parts, and so on.
So why were they assembling an in-body on stage?
To cultivate in the children a positive association with the sight of a human body. They were using those bits to independently assemble a fairy tale character, a positive character. And thanks to their efforts, a young woman would take the stage, the defender of beauty, protecting a blossoming garden from a wicked witch.
The witch symbolized ugliness?
Evidently. Beauty would triumph over ugliness, and the children rejoiced at their involvement in bringing about a happy end. Bit by bit, their repulsion toward the human body was thus dislodged from their psyches, replaced by a new mindset, which filled the human body with beauty and goodness.
But why did they need to go through a transfer?
The transfer anchored this mindset. All the emotional experience obtained at the Gerbera Garden would anchor only in a new body. Otherwise, the therapy had no effect.
I see. And the cubes? What was their purpose?
The cubes have an extremely simple shape. Playing in the pavilions blunted the kids' excessive sensitivity. Their psyches were being simplified so as to start sewing in them trivial categories: good and evil, beauty and ugliness. Because their perception developed in an anomalous manner, the kids saw the world of shapes very differently, in a way that grown-ups could never understand. And there was no other way to save their lives other than to make them simpler.
I'm still having trouble understanding.
Hold on. Meyer. Hennebisch. My name is Ida Meyer.
You remembered?
I found a journal. It contains my data. Here. Ida Meyer, age 26, City of Geneva. My personal number. And a date. August 15th, 2058. What year is it, by the way?
76.
Whoa. So, I'm a psychologist from Geneva, and I've been lying in Mongolian soil for 18 years.
In a candy box. And not in soil, but in sand.
Very well, in sand. And now I'm in a flower vase, trying to verify my number. Only, damn it,
What?
it's not working. The network interface, I can't get online.
I guess the vase doesn't integrate with the web.
Hennebisch, there's another network terminal, underneath the TV. It's functional, only without power. If you can power it up, I'll be able to get online.
I'll try. Let's see how the wiring is done.
The reason is both simple and evident. Simultaneous existence of two copies of the same person gives rise to problems we are not prepared to tackle, as clearly demonstrated by the sorrowful experience of the recent past. For now, strict prohibition on duplication and forced deactivation of existing duplicates remain the only solution to the situation. Deactivated neurocopies are retired into secure storage facilities for likely reactivation in the future, when a legitimate solution is found. This is one of the cases when...
Ida, our terminal burned down.
I know, but I managed to check the number in time.
You did? So what's the news? Are you going home?
The news is bad. I no longer have originals right. There's nowhere for me to go.
Why?
I was restored. 3 years ago, Ida Meyer was confirmed dead and restored from a reserve neurocopy. She currently lives somewhere in Geneva.
We don't seem to have much luck. How did she die?
It says here, died in a disparatoxin emission in 2058.
This means you are now a duplicate?
Correct. My very existence is illegal.
Well, don't fret. We'll improvise.
Improvise?
Sure. We'll find you a normal body with legs.
With legs. And then what?
Then we'll live our lives, selling flowers.
Enibish, listen. When my battery runs out, I want you to put my flowers into secure warranty. I mean, into a glass cell, yes? That is a secure evacuation. I understand.
What?
What I mean is, please put my neurochip in a cell which... Enibish, into a camera of tides, or a camera of dreams.
What's with your voice?
I don't know.
A camera of tides? What are you talking about?
I'm malfunctioning somehow. My thoughts are out of order. But I think it's over.
You need repairs.
I don't need anything, Enibish. I'll be put to sleep soon. Disconnected. And for a long while, I bet.
So you've decided...
Yes. That is my decision.
So you wake up and go right back to sleep. Got it.
More like, wake up, get totally confused, then go back to sleep.
What are you confused about?
The explosion, for one thing. I haven't a clue how I'm connected to it.
You got caught in an emission. That's just bad luck.
No, Enibish, it's not that simple. I found another mention of my name, here, in the database, in the search history. Somebody was searching for information about me.
So what? What's so strange about that?
The fact that it was the only query for my name in the entire search history, made 20 minutes before the explosion.
Who made the query?
A man named Mark Daring. He's listed as transfer operator. The explosion happened on his shift. There's even a recording of it. And also, how curious.
What?
Going by the recording, there was an equipment breakdown not long before the explosion, at around the same time the query was made. Yes, I want to know what happened there.
What kind of a recording is it?
A report. It was saved automatically. It mentions some kind of a malfunction that, because it wasn't corrected in time, forced a modification in the transfer procedure. And no, I don't know the nature of the modification. I haven't yet figured it out.
Why do you even care? Is that really important now?
It is to me, because aside from these fragments of the past, I have more fragments of the past than... I mean...
Ida. Hey.
It happened again. I'm getting worse.
I'll repeat, you need repairs.
You need to know the cause of the problem before you can correct it, which I do not.
Could it be those processing errors you've mentioned?
Which errors?
You know, the ones that accumulate over time.
Impossible. I've just rebooted myself. They don't accumulate so quickly. Something else is happening here.
Your voice is changing.
If only it were just the voice. I'm at a loss. The reasons could be many. Could be my synchronizer is on the fritz. I've heard of cases when the neurochip malfunctioned due to a deteriorating link with the DNA. Either that or my neurocopy is failing. But if that's the case...
What then?
Nothing. Let's just hope it's the synchronizer.
Let's. Then we'll replace it with a new one.
Sure. There's a new one here in a small. Distance close.
Give me the pavilion number. I'll go and get it.
Is in 6 rooms soft.
Got it. And, don't go crazy just yet. Try.
Try.
Yes.
Figured out what kind of breakdown the report was referring to. During a transfer, the ability to speak was not blocked out for one of the kids. That is, he was talking to himself. Go on in. I know why there was so little information about me. August 15th was my first workday at the Gerbera Garden. I had come here for the first time with that group of kids, and the explosion occurred 2 hours later. Did you bring it?
I did. Hold on while I replace it. Well,
It's fine.
thoughts still messed up?
No, everything's fine.
Then it helped.
For now. We'll see if it lasts.
How long will your charge last?
About 2 weeks, maybe less. Say, know what I found? The correspondence of that operator, Mark, with one of his colleagues. There are some strange tidbits here. Here, listen to this.
To be honest, it doesn't really interest me.
Wait, this is important. It's about your parents.
What?
Your parents. And me as well. Here, listen. It's a work correspondence. They're talking about research into memory transfer between people using telepathy.
Telepathy?
That's what it says here. They're discussing telepathy and also mention some kind of side effect. They refer to it as MPR0, the MPR0 effect.
What is it?
Well, if my understanding is correct, it's a sensation, a strange sensation experienced when one transmits one's memory.
And what of it?
Mark writes that at one time he was very interested in the matter, studying MPR0 thoroughly after that incident with Ida.
That incident?
We must have been acquainted, even though I remember nothing about Mark or any unusual effects, and I cannot imagine what incident he's referring to.
And what about my parents?
That's here too. He recalls working at a research station before the garden was constructed. There weren't many people around in those days. His circle of contacts was limited to several work colleagues and his Mongolian friends. He writes, "It's the family living in a yurt not far from the landing platform." That's your family, isn't it?
Sounds like it.
Where are your parents now?
They died long ago. Why?
They could have probably answered many of our questions. Maybe Mark even told them about me.
Are you all right?
Yes, maybe. Maybe he told them.
Ida, is everything fine?
Everything fine is an ordinary word. Just a note, like the weather, chilly or warm, but we were looking for other research. Family records, kind letters. So... What was that just now? More of the same?
Yes. Again.
Enibish.
What?
I don't think I have much time. Please help me untangle this web with Mark. I want you to look through your parents' things. They may have left behind notes, journals.
Understood. I will go look for them. Tabaha is here.
Looks like it'll rain.
Rain? Today?
There'll be rain and thunder, and it'll sweep all profiteers into a ditch.
What happened?
You got any idea how much the search cost me?
No. How much?
1.5.
Is that a lot?
Well, when in Bayang Hungor has the internet ever cost 1.5?
I'll pay you back.
I won't take money from your destitute self.
All right. Thanks.
The information was paid for and delivered by a personal courier.
Very nice. So, what did you find out?
Well, first of all, the Gabera Garden was never about entertainment.
It was a hospital, I know. But what happened to it?
The kids were all patients, yeah? Well, one of them had his container overflow. The potassium exploded. That's what happened.
That's all?
Hold your horses. The story ain't so simple. Think. A person gets his body replaced and blows up minutes later. You might ask, how could they not have checked the container? Turns out they did check, and the container was empty. And yet, 15 minutes later, it up and explodes. In other words, the capsule filled and overflowed rapidly. Pretty much instantly, in point of fact.
There must have been a reason.
Must have been, sure, but it wasn't found. All that's known is that there was a mishap with this particular child's transfer. Turns out he had been talking to himself while in the booth. That was the mishap. As to why he blew up, that part's unclear. When he came outside, all his stats were normal, and he looked calm. You can see it on the video.
He was talking to himself? What about, I wonder?
Nobody knows. The conversation wasn't saved.
What's the video you mentioned?
From the security cameras, you can see everything. Here he is, coming out of the booth in an M-body. Here's the sword acceptance ceremony. Here he is, getting off the stage and heading into the garden. He's walking evenly, takes a seat on the edge of a flower bed. Then, this part is a bit unclear.
What's happening?
A child comes up to him as he's sitting. A teeny little thing. Walks up and says something to him. Looks like the kid fancies the sword and is asking for it.
What sword?
A toy. Just a shiny toy sword. They were given to the kids as presents after their body replacements. Endure a transfer, get a toy.
Okay.
Okay. So our hero hands over the sword. He's holding on to the hilt, hand extended. The child is trying to take the sword but can't.
Why can't he?
Because he's grabbing at the blade, which is holographic. The kiddo's fingers swish right through the air, through the illusion.
I see. And then what happens?
Then, nothing happens. It's the end of the recording. The explosion is coming up. Here's a grown-up approaching the kids. That's the transfer operator. He walks up to his patient and asks him something. The latter turns around and blows up a second later. And that's it. Doesn't clear up much, I'm afraid.
What was his name?
Mark, or who are you asking about? The one who blew up? That was Albert.
And the other child?
The little one? Don't know. He was one of the locals. Not sure how he ended up inside the garden. Have fun with your little mystery now, but I'm off.
See you tomorrow?
I don't know. It might be 3-4 days, maybe a week. We'll see. All right, take care now. Don't get caught in the rain.
Hold on, Tabaha. I've got one more question.
I told you everything I know about this garden. I got nothing else.
It's not about the garden. It's about my parents. I wanted to remember something about my parents.
Here,
What's this?
a key to the drawer of your Grandpa Bachin's bedside table.
Where did you get it?
Bachin left it to me. He said that if ever you ask me about your parents, to give you this key. So, that's what I'm doing. And I don't know nothing else. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Tabaha. I found it. You and Mark had met once before.
Yes, I already know. I remembered it.
How? Tell me.
It was just after my college entrance exams. My friends and I were hanging out in the city as part of a larger group. Mark was there as well. I hadn't met him before then, nor seen him since. Our paths crossed once, and that was that.
So, what happened between you two?
Nothing at all. We didn't have a single exchange. We all just sat there with the guys on the cafe terrace chatting about this and that. It was your typical evening.
Mark was recalling some kind of special moment.
Nothing so special that it stayed with me. Except maybe there was this strange sensation.
A sensation?
Yes. Sometimes I get a peculiar feeling. It somehow resembles anxiety, but only partially. I can't really describe it. It is a sad, pleasant feeling. I had felt it again that particular evening, and...
And what?
Anabish, I'm about to shut down.
Wait. We're not done figuring out your past.
And we won't. I am out of time. I received a message.
From whom?
From my neurochip. Only, the neurochip writes in red letters. I'm being informed that it is self-destructing. Know what I can do?
What?
Split myself in two.
What do you mean?
When I shut down, my upper half will split from my legs.
Why?
I've no clue. That's just how my body works. I can show you. Watch.
Wait, don't. Ida, listen.
I'm listening.
Maybe there's still a way to fix everything.
Fix everything? Well, there is a way. If you can travel to the past and pass 4 digits to Professor Koch, that would fix everything. Fix everything.
Are you there? Ida,
I'm here.
how do you feel?
Strange.
Strange? In what way? Describe your state.
I feel anxious.
That's good.
Good?
Yes. Just don't shut down. Look at me.
Why?
I'll explain everything later.
You have to know one thing. You said that it's this place for you and me. You said you wanna be just with me. You told me you won't leave without me. My baby, look at me. You have to know